just for a minute. Shall I just go, Owen? Sorry. Okay, cool. Welcome to Pilates mixture today. We've got some injuries on board, so we're going to go through some lovely neck stretches, some shoulder stretches, some joint mobility and some strengthening exercises. So we're starting on our knees today. So let's just still think about posture. Relax your feet off. So roll your shoulders back and down and really send them back slowly. So a couple more times. So all the way up, right the way back, and send those shoulder blades down, down, down. So feel that openness through the chest. Breathe. Just breathe. Add a little squeeze into the shoulder blades as you send your hands back, your arms back, and your hands kind of brush your sides, the side of your thighs, and they end up behind you. So working through the shoulders, and just notice, does one side feel more clunky? Maybe some discomfort? Or maybe they feel good? Excellent. Okay, so we're going to take the hand on one shoulder and we're going to start making a small circle with the elbow. Keep the shoulders dropped, so keep them relaxed. Press the other one down still, so it's almost kind of stabilizing you, because that other arm that's down is strong and still. Okay, let's make that movement a little bit bigger, but not full range of movement yet. Excellent. So we're just drawing a circle, and then let's go to the full range of motion as much as you can. So it might mean that you start to take your eye gaze round, but try to just hold eye gaze towards the front for now. So I don't mind you just going off the front, but not right the way around the back. And we just means we focus that movement into the joint. So can you bring it in front and across your body? Take it right up to the ceiling. Draw that circle around and right the way back behind you and down. So make it slower, 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 slower. So come across the midline. Across the midline, all the way up. Take it up as high as you can, all the way back. So it's like you're having a big fat stretch and a yawn, and all the way down. And then let's go the other way. So down. Not full range of movement, just start. And you might feel that in your ribs as we just warm up the body. Lovely. And tight shoulders are huge, you know. Tight shoulders affect your neck, might give you headaches, affects your posture, and then how you stand, and then your gait, how you walk. So let's take that to the full range of movement. All the way back, all the way up, to the front and down. All the way back, up, front and down. That's it, lovely. And then let's hold it there. Let's come to the other side. So shake it off if you need to. And hopefully that side feels lovely and mobile and fabulous. So other hand onto the shoulder. Reset your posture. So tuck your bottom under. Pull your belly in. And then just start to make small circles. And notice your joint. Notice any clunks, any tightness. Any area that kind of might feel a little bit uncomfortable. And just breathe. So don't hold your breath. We need to get oxygen. We need to get this fluid warm in the shoulder joint, around the shoulder joint, around the clavicle. So keep breathing. Lovely. And then we start to make it a little bit bigger. That's it. And then we start to take it across the midline. So imagine I'm working here as I come across the midline. The back of my shoulder is stretching as I'm taking that elbow up and round towards the back. So working through this hole, it's like a ball and socket joint. Working around the edges of the joint. Lovely. Can you make it go a little bit further? Breathe, enjoy it, if you can. If it's uncomfortable, that's it, make your own adaptations. And that's it, to the edges of those movements. And then let's go the other way, just a few times. Lovely. Fabulous. Okay, still on our knees, so just shake it out. Shake it out. Some neck exercises. So we're just going to, I want you to keep looking forwards and your gaze will drop, but imagine it's just going to drop to about 45 degrees. So you're taking your ear towards your shoulder. So I'm still looking forwards. Drop those shoulders. So let the hands hang heavy. And if you've got some discomfort, try to just let it go. Breathe through it. Breathe through it. Pull the belly in still so you're supported. You might feel it through your shoulders. You might feel it through the side of the neck. Now, from here, we're just going to take a look down towards that shoulder. And go as far as is comfortable for you. But if you can look over the edge of that shoulder, brilliant. And you should feel a stretch in the neck and just hold in that stretch there. If it's uncomfortable, you can come out of it and come back to it. Just holding, holding, and then send the shoulder, that opposite shoulder down. And sometimes it helps to send the fingertips down towards the skirting board. It's like a press down and away across the floor. And you should feel a bigger stretch into the shoulder, into the neck, into the top of the shoulder. And just imagine all those ligaments just stretching, getting warm, and just holding. Then we're going to bring eye gaze back up to me. And then lifting that ear off and back to neutral and have a roll of those shoulders. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to drop the ear towards the shoulder, and again you might feel some differences. If that's uncomfortable for you, just make it smaller, just a small movement. You okay, Sue? Yeah, you can sit if you want to and do this, but or rest out. So we're dropping the ear towards the shoulder. You could even do this sitting on a chair if you wanted to. Just allowing the shoulders to rest and drop. We kind of say relax, but let them drop away as if someone's pressing them down. And I can feel that into the other shoulder, right around the joint. And then we're going to take the nose down towards the shoulder. So you're looking over your shoulder. Just breathe. Drop the shoulders. Lovely. And just hold in there for a moment. And we're going to come back up. So eye gaze lifts, head comes back up. Okay, so we're going to do something else with the neck. So we're still going to drop. So let's go to that first side. So drop the ear a little bit. And then we're going to nod. So we're going to go kind of drop the chin down so it's like yes. And then we're going to lift the chin up. And bring the eye gaze down. So you've still got your ear towards the shoulder. You're just tracing a line, and it's almost a diagonal line from your chin to chest, and then eye gaze lifts up to the side above you. Okay, so just in your own time, lifting and lowering that chin up and down. Up to the ceiling, to the diagonal, down, chin to chest. And notice that. How does it feel? Chin down to chest and head back in alignment and lift up. Now, if that's made you feel dizzy, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes still, and let's come back to the other side. So ear down to shoulder, just settle it there, and then again, chin down to chest. So you've still got your ear towards the side, and then lifting, lifting. And if it's stiffer this side, start small. Start small and focused, and then you can always add on if you're able to. So lifting, lifting, dropping down. So it's like the outside, it's like one side of a V. Drop the shoulders. Sometimes if it's a bit stiff, we bring those shoulders up. So lift and lower. It's really important. I think we really neglect our necks, especially, you know, if you're on your phone or a laptop. It can really extend the back of your neck, the back of your shoulders, and tighten the front of your chin, your neck, and your chest. And then we get tech neck, they say. So chin to chest, head, chin to the center, and lift up. Roll through the shoulders. How does that feel? Are you lovely and lovely? Good. Okay, let's just start to lift the arm up to the head and down other side. So trying to get, and if you can't, just go to where you can. Lifting and lowering. So palm faces in. Breathe, and we're aiming to get the arm in line with the ear. If you're hypermobile, or if you've got good range of mobility, that's movement and mobility, then you might be able to go further back. So lifting up, trying to lengthen through that arm. So nice, not straight arm, but lengthen, press up to the ceiling. Press into that curve. So press, press, press. Lovely. Press, press, press. Good. Okay, this time up, we're going to hold it up, press the other hand down, and just try and reach to both points. So you're pressing up and you're pressing down. Breathe and lower. Okay, let's change sides. Press up. Can you feel anything? So I've got a bit of tightness there in my shoulder. Press up and down. So just press to start with, and then press a bit further. Breathe. Fabulous. Good. And then let's bring hands together. Palms are up. Oh, see my like wonky donkey. Press those arms back. Oh, and I'm mirrored, so I can't correct it. Okay, hands forwards, palms down, cross over. Then as we open, palms up, take them wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together, palms down, round through the chest, well, chin to chest here. Open, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chin a little bit, and then this time down and round through the spine. And open. And last one, let's open up. Drop the hands down. Fabulous. We're going to come into child's pose. So well done. Hopefully your shoulders feel lovely. So we're going to come into child's pose. Take your time. So just sit back. This is your time to just stretch through the back. So I know on knees, we don't normally start on knees, but actually it's good to be on our knees. But it can send your spine into lordosis, so you kind of end up pushing your bottom out and bending through the spine into extension, so it can make your back ache a little bit. So and into the hips. So we'll just spend a couple of moments in child pose. Press the hands away and just notice what's touching the floor. And depending on our body parts, you might have bigger areas that might touch the floor.
try and feel that space into the armpit, into the axilla, and then start to just press one down, just slightly, because that can be a bit uncomfortable, and then the other. Just pressing down. Wiggle jiggling if you need to. Okay, and then we're going to come up. We're going to come onto all fours again. And we're going to come into cat-cow. So, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and just pull the belly in towards the spine. Pull, 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 and then pull the bottom under. And imagine a circle, like a semicircle, from the top of your crown of your head over the length of your spine right to your coccyx, and pull it in and squeeze that semicircle, squeeze it in so you're making an arc, and you're really pushing the shoulders away, and you're pulling the belly up, and you're tucking the bottom in a little bit more, and then release. We lift the chin slightly. So I want you to do this really slowly. We lift the chin and we let the belly just kind of come towards the floor, and you stick your bottom out just a little bit. I don't want you to overextend. And then round. We're spending most of the time in the rounded position. So pushing the spine up towards the ceiling, chin coming towards the chest, tucking the head in, and then tucking the bottom under. And pull the belly in a bit more. Feel the length along the length of your spine. Okay, and then into neutral. We're going to walk the hands away, just one hand away. Okay, and then we're going to take the weight forwards into the wrists a little bit. And then we're going to make a circle around. So make sure all the weight's into your wrists. It's kind of on the top of your top of your knees. Elbows are slightly bent, so slightly off lock, and we're pulling the belly in. So core is braced. You might need to adjust your knees. We're just making a small circle over the wrists, and then we're going to come into the other direction. So loading weight through the wrists, making them strong. We're in flexion, our wrists are flexed. Really good for bone health here. And then let's just come side to side. So transferring weight from one side to the pinky, little finger of one hand to the pinky on the other hand, into the thumb. Press the middle finger down and pull the palm up and away. Good. And then let's sit back. Oh, take the weight off the hands, circle through the wrists. Oh, isn't that uncomfortable, is it? But it's so good for us, honestly. One way and then the other way, and then just pull the fingers down, so you're just stretching over the tops of the wrists. And then the other one. Fabulous. Lovely. Okay, back onto the hands and knees. Into a little bit of a thread the needle. So onto the wrists again, send the shoulders away, belly pulls in and bottom tucks under. Now, we're not going to drop at the moment, we're going to just lift. So take one hand off, elbow lifts, and we're going to take a look to the side. Okay, take a look to the side, squeeze the elbow upwards, and then drop down. Let's come to the other side. So just into that lift part of the movement. Lift, 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 eye gaze follows. Now, bring that hand down. This time, I want you to try and keep the hips still. Okay, so belly in, bottom tucked under, hips are still, and we lift, 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 lift. Hips stay facing downwards. And feel that into the ribs a little bit more. Into rotation, hand comes down, Reset, push the shoulders away. Elbow lifts, lifts, lifts. And just hold in that position there. Swap sides, pull the belly in, through the core, lift the elbow, and down. And again, lift, lift, and come down. Lovely. Then we're going to drop. So we're going to drop that hand through and then send the shoulder, the back of the shoulder to the floor to get that stretch into the back of the shoulder. And then press the back of the hand down into the floor and press the shoulder away. So you're adding tension into the shoulder, into the back of the shoulder. You're almost pressing that shoulder away from the floor, but you're pressing down on the hand. And then come up. Let's swap sides. Hand comes through. If you can get all the way down, brilliant. Adjust that supporting hand. Reach that hand through a little bit further. So stretching through the back of the shoulder a little bit more. You can stay there if you want to, or you can press. If you need to, you can do similar, just sitting on the chair if this is too much. And then lift up. Let's do one more each side. And pressing that hand away, pressing the shoulder. Fabulous. And let's swap sides. Last time. Lovely, and come on. Excellent. Let's can we stay on our knees? Sorry. Stay hands and knees. Last one. So into hip circle. It's knee circle really, but we're actually working through the hips. So if you need just a rest to rest your wrists, you can do. Let's do that. And then last one on the knees. So a little circle of the wrists, one way and then the other. Honestly, it's so good for your wrist strength, this lot. Onto the hands and knees, we're going to take the weight through one leg. And I want you to try and stay central if you can, because sometimes when you're on one leg, your weight shifts to the side and you just put too much pressure on the outside of your hip. So adjust where you need to. So we lift one leg and centralise the hips. And then we're going to flex the foot, if you can, lift it off, and then we circle the knee in one direction. And again, we're trying to bring it into the midline, so brushing the other leg, sneaking that knee up towards the arm, backwards and back in towards the knee. So slowly, slowly, slowly. So you're tracing a circle at the moment across around the floor. So if you had a pencil on the floor, you would be drawing a circle on the floor. So it's your knee stays quite close to the floor. Okay, we're not cocking the leg up yet. So tracing a circle, and then let's go in the opposite direction. Pull the belly in, brace the core. How are your shoulders? Are you still pressing away, or have you kind of dropped into your shoulders? Okay, knee comes in towards the elbow, and then it presses up, heel to bottom. Bring the knee in, heel towards the bottom. So an extension through the hip, the front of the hip, and flexion. So squeeze and extend, the big squeeze into the bottom, into the glutes. Knee in and out and in. To the centre, drop down. Let's change sides. So reset. Hips level if you can. If you want to turn your hands out a little bit, sometimes that just takes the pressure off the same area in the hip. So into that circle, so the foot is flexed, and just a small circle, tracing that circle on the floor slowly. So keeping the foot and the leg quite close to the floor. A little circle, one way, and then let's go in the other direction. Fabulous. Reset the shoulders as we get tired here. We dip down, and then let's take the knee in towards the elbow, squeeze, heel towards the bottom, knee in, and a squeeze. Knee comes in, squeezes back, and in, and back, and drop that leg down. Just one more. We're going to take the other leg and we're going to lift it out, up and out, like you are a little dog. And my little girl dog has started doing this. She thinks she's a boy. So I tell her off. I go, Donna, what are you doing? Lift up and out, just a little bit, not long now. Swap sides, nearly done on wrists, honestly, promise. Lift up and out. It's too good an opportunity to miss this bit. Up and out, and then sit down on your bottom. Whoa. Oh, are we all right? Oh, how are your wrists? It's like T-Rex. We call it T-Rex arms. Oh, little stretch again. Just think how strong your wrists are going to be, though. And it doesn't hurt afterwards, does it? Hopefully you don't get any discomfort after, like later on. It's just at the time. And if you really don't like that, you can practice that on the wall, so it's not as, you've not got so much load, so much weight through your wrists. But it's really important to practice wrists down, flexion through the wrists. Oh, okay, so we're going to just shift weight forwards, and we're going to take our feet wide, and we're just going to stretch the back of our body a little bit. So I want you to lift through the belly and then through the chest. So we're really upright, and it kind of sends you onto your knobbly bits, onto your ischial tuberosities, so onto the bottom of your pelvis, okay, the pelvis bones. So send your weight forwards, and from here, I don't want you to round through your spine because we don't stretch anything particularly then. I want you to stay lifted, and I just want you to take your weight forward. So pull the belly in, so your eye gaze is still lifted. Your eye gaze just shifts from straight in front of you to a few degrees low. So length through the spine. Shoulders are still in a lovely position. And think about where can you feel that? Can you feel that into your hamstrings, into the bottom, into the back of the hips maybe? Breathe. And then we're going to just take the weight. We're going to walk hands towards the leg. If you need to let it go and relax, if it's too much for your back, then relax and then lift again. So notice the difference between slouching and then lifting up through the chest. And then you can lean a little bit further towards your toes. But I still want you to keep this long spine. So heads are still lifted. No pressure through the neck here. Okay, and then send that opposite bum cheek down. It's nice to sometimes take your hands onto your shin, your knee, your thigh, and then send the elbows away. And that way you keep your chest lifted. You just allow your body to come closer towards your leg. Breathe. And again, hip mobility is huge. If our hips aren't mobile, then we struggle with a lot of things. So push up, recenter to the other side. So a little rotation, and then walking the hands, keeping that spine lifted, the chest lifted, and just find that position. You might feel it behind your knee, behind your thigh. And then just send those elbows wide. If you need to come out and go back into it, that's fine. Relax the toes off. No tension through the toes. And then send that other bum cheek down. Send the back of the pelvis down on the other side. Breathe. And you might feel that across the top of your pelvis. Lovely.
and then come up. We come into the other side, back to the other side. This time, if you can, you're going to walk your hands to the outside edge. Same principles, send the bottom down towards the floor and just taking that rotation a little bit further. And then press through the back hand, press up through. So you've lifted a little bit, you might feel that into the inside of the opposite leg. Rest down, come to the front, take your time, walk your hands across, away from the other leg to the outside edges. Lift through the chest, press the bottom down away, and then press through that hand at the back. Press and lift. Breathe, don't hold your breath. Big stretch through the ribs. Lovely, and then come to the front. Fabulous. Bring those feet together. Fold. Try and get your toes, hands over the toes, and then drop the head. If you need to bend your knees, you can, or grab a cushion and put them under your knees, but if you can, get them straight. Lovely. And just breathe here. Great. And then come into some hip openers. Lovely. Walk up. So, see how you get on. It depends on hips and knees, this one. So, 90-90 or 90. It's hard to do 90-90 with your knee here. See how you get on. So, hips folded under you. Now, tendency is to take the weight onto the arm, which is great. So work with it. So start on your arm, and then we're going to push up. Can you push up and lift? So lift through the ribs, and that's a squeeze through the ribs on the other side. Lift and then lower down. Lift again, so pressing up and lower down. This time we're going to lift. Can you hold your weight here? Can you hold up so you're not pressing through the hands? And then can you take a turn to the foot behind you? Just a small one. Lovely. Come to the front, hands come down. Let's go again. So just lift and lower a couple of times. Lift and lower, and feel the weight pressing through the knee. Lift and lower, hands together. Elbow comes behind, eye gaze follows you. Fab. And then we're going to do it on the other side. So wiggle jiggle, other side. Now one side might be much better and more, you might be more able this side. This side already feels more comfortable for me. So you'll have one side that is more natural. So leaning on the hand, wiggle jiggling the feet, knees so you feel comfortable, lifting up, lowering down, pressing up, and then let's hold that position. And then we take a turn. So for me, this is much easier here. Feels like I could do it all day. Not quite, but you know what I mean. Rest down, pull up, use the muscles in your core to sit upright and down. So that's a little rest, come up, and then a rotation through the waist into the top of the hip, the side of the hip, the pelvis rather, and then we come back down. Okay, so we're going to scooch round because we're going to do our lovely little movement. So open from one side. If you need to start leaning on the hands behind you, that's fine. Get that movement, feel that movement, and then if you can, let's do no touchy. No hands. Can you get that foot down, that knee down on the floor on both sides? Notice the difference. So here, this feels good. I can get both knees down. This side, not so good. So press, pull, lean forwards, and then you might shift forwards. I'm naturally coming forwards. Good. That's it, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Lovely. Are you shifting? Can you shift back? If you've moved forward, can you purposely shift back on the floor? It's like a little walk, isn't it? Shifting your bottom. So you actively move back. This is one that will make you warm. Use your hands if you need to. I'm going to the side more than back, which shows me one side's way stronger than the other. When you get back to centre, hold it there. Woo, lovely. Okay, so I wasn't going to do any more wrists, but we will. But different. So hands are behind you, fingers are pointing back. Bring your feet in. Can you press down and just lift your bottom a little bit, and then lower. Really be mindful to keep your head in alignment, your neck. So as you lift, your eye gaze follows. It's not dangling, it's not forwards, it's neutral. Just a few times. If you've got shoulder problems, do what you can. It might be just a lift, a little gentle lift. Lovely. Lift, up and over. Good. Up and over. Fab. Okay. Are we all right? So now we're going to go back onto the side. So we're going to start on the side. We're going to come onto the back. We're going to take our hands behind us and we're going to flip. Can you flip here onto your knees? Try it. You might go, oh my word, no. Sue, you don't have to do this if it's too much for you. Lovely. Lovely. Oh my word, you're fab. So it kind of sounds worse than it is, doesn't it? So you lift, you flip onto you can come onto your hands and knees, or you can stay off your knees and just come back. You could go one side, you could go to the other side, you could do a circle. Oh, how are we doing? I'm just going to watch you. Good. Brilliant. Oh my word, you're amazing. Oh, look at you go. You're like little acrobats. Rest. Oh. And I haven't recorded that. Well done. Well done. Brilliant. As your heart rate's gone up. Really good. Honestly, that is so good to be able to do that. Not only because if you fall, you'll get off, it'll get you off the floor. It's multi-planes of movements. It's using all of those joints that we've just warmed up. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your core. Well done. Let's come into a lovely bridge. So we like bridges, don't we? So come onto your backs. And then bring your heels towards your bottom. Take your time here. So heels to bottom. Heels in line with your shoulders and knees in line too. And then we're just going to start with that pelvic tilt. So we've kind of been doing the movement in as we come into the cat-cow movement. So we've already prepped for this movement, but I really want you to feel as you press the spine into the floor, the hips, the pelvis tilts, draw in the pelvic floor as well. So we can work all sorts of parts of the body here. Driving the hips up, 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 up. Big squeeze at the top. Roll down. Slowly, slowly. Slowly, slowly. And again, we're going to lift, lift, squeeze the bottom, lift a little bit higher. So press the bottom and squeeze, squeeze right at the top, almost so that your knees want to press out, but you're keeping them in, and lower down.
Okay, I want you to come right up to the top of that movement, up as high as you can, and then we're going to walk the feet out. So we're going to walk one foot out, bring it back, keep the hips high, walk the other foot, bring it back. So we're just tapping out, still keeping the hips up. Tap it out, bring it in, 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 roll down slowly, rest, and get your breath. Okay, we're going to go again. So heels, readjust your heels slowly into that pelvic tilt, big squeeze at the top. This time we're going to walk out and hold it. We're going to step out, so we're going to go one foot out, keep it there, other foot out, first foot in, second foot in. So we're going out, out, in, out, out, in. So you kind of land heel, heel, in, ball of the foot, ball of the foot. Keep the hips up, out, in, out, out, in, and roll down. Hug those knees into the chest. Fabulous. Lovely. We haven't done yet. So, feet down. This time we're going to turn toes in, heels out, and I get a bit of cramp already in my foot, sorry. Lift up the hips, big squeeze, so squeeze and press, squeeze and press. They're little pulses but slow and controlled, squeezing the whole of the bottom, all of the glutes in the bottom. Squeeze the knees together, thighs together. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Can you hold up? Heels together, toes out, squeeze, 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 squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet in parallel, heels lift, squeeze, 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 squeeze. 4, 3, 2, last one, heels down, toes lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big squeeze, big press up, roll down, knees in, hug those knees. Whew. Fabulous. Ooh. Okay, we're going to hug one knee in. We're going to send the other leg, either bend the knee and put the foot down on the floor, or send that leg away and then hug the knee in a bit closer. And then I want you to wrap your hands around your shin. And we're going to press and push away. So we're going to press the knee away towards the ceiling, but you're going to resist with the hand. And what that does, it creates a space in the back of the hip, the sacroiliac joint. Release. So it's a press, resist, release. Keep your head on the floor, press, resist and release. And let's do one more. Press, resist, and then we're going to swap sides. So we're going to hug the knee into the chest. I'm going to press the other foot either on the floor or send that leg away, long leg. Hug that knee in a little bit more. So just enjoy that stretch. If you want to press the knee downwards and the foot away on that extended leg, you can. You get more of a stretch. If you like this stretch, or if you feel you need it more, you can actually do this one as you're lying on the bed, and just drop that foot down towards the floor. So you need to be right on the edge. That's quite a nice stretch in the front of the hip. Okay, we're going to press and resist. So press that knee away, pull with the hands, release. Press and pull, release. Press and resist, release. Press and resist, relax. Okay, let's drop the feet down. coming into Sue, I would maybe try it, see how you get on, but don't feel you have to do this. You could even try it with your head resting on the floor. So I'm going to lift my shoulders off the floor, and eye gaze is to the ceiling, not down to my knees. Hands, palms down to the floor, and then I'm going to slide them, hand down towards my ankle, pull up. Hand slides other side, pull up. So a lateral lean. Slide, and a slide, slide. Now we're going to do 8 more. You can either stay here or you can lift your feet off into tabletop. Breathe. If you breathe out on that stretch, on that press, you might get a little bit more space where your lungs are deflated. Last one. Drop your shoulders down, keep your feet in the air, hands down. Let's crisscross the feet and let's lower them down towards the floor. Only go as far as it's comfortable for you. Lift them up, little crisscross. Down. Nice long legs. Brace the core, brace the belly. Lift, lift. Or keep going. Keep going. Keep breathing and bring those feet down. Knock your knees together. Heels come out wide. And just rest those hips. You can just wiggle jiggle if you like. Dropping the knee down a little bit more and then to the other side. Just releases off the backs of the hips. Now we've not done anything in standing, but we won't. Not today. Keep going, just keep moving, keep wiggling. Then we're going to bring one knee in. We're going to send the other leg away. Lift the shoulders, or lift the head off the floor. And we're going to hug the knee in twice. 1, 2. We're going to swap sides. 1, 2. Breathe. So you can do this with your head down. You don't need to lift. Send the elbows wide as you pull in. And then drop the feet down. Again, knees in, but this time knock them out. So just in and out. Okay, arms come out wide, palms are up, facing the ceiling. Feet come together, knees together, and then drop the knees to one side. Keep the knees together. Feet, keep the shoulder pinned. Relax through the belly. Relax off through the ribs. And then take your eye gaze away from your knees. So that stretch. You can hold it there, or I'm going to lengthen that top leg. And then I'm going to try and get that top leg towards the floor. Still pressing that shoulder blade down towards the floor. If you want to, you can try and hold your toe, your big toe. And just holding there is quite nice. It's good for us to stretch out. Okay, head comes up, knees come together. Take the hand over so both hands are together on your side. Your knees and your feet are together and you've rolled over. So into clam. I really want you to focus on this, keeping the hips still and stacked. We're going to separate the knees, and it's literally a small movement. It's open the knees, drop them down, open, close, open, close, open. Keep the hips really still. So as your knees come back together, they should still be in the same position. You shouldn't be rocking backwards. If it helps, keep a hand on your bum. Okay, then we lift the whole leg, just small, working on the outsides of the hips, the thighs. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lovely. And then you can either turn over or roll over. I'm going to come, oh no, sorry, onto your backs, arms wide, knees together, feet together. We're going to drop the legs, knees to the other side, and then pin the shoulder blade down. Eye gaze goes away from the knees. And then try and press that top knee further, closer to the floor, closer to the other knee, whilst you're pinning the shoulders on the floor. Ooh. And then we extend the top knee, top leg. Try and pop the toes on the floor if you can, or towards the floor, you don't have to. Enjoy that stretch. If you want to, you can take hold of your toe. And release, knees together, feet together. Take that hand behind you, in front of you, both hands together, and then into clam. So hips stay stacked on top of each other. That small movement through the knees, through the hips. It's really strengthening around the hip joint here. Just lift and lower nice and slowly. Then we're going to lift the whole leg, not too far. Lift slowly, lower slowly. Lift, trying to get it back into that same position. So we're not moving the hips, we're not rolling back. Lovely. And then let's roll back. Oh, and time for relaxation. So come onto your backs or wherever is comfortable for you. Take your arms out for a second and just drop your ear towards the floor on one side. Take a deep breath in and breathe all the way out. And then bring your head up and then take the ear to the other side, towards the floor. And then to centre. And just lifting the chin slightly. And bringing it back to neutral. Just settling, resting in a comfortable place now. Hands wherever you prefer. Feet wherever you prefer. And just breathe and release. A few long deep breaths in through your nose and then out through your mouth. And just working through your body, relaxing each body part. So starting with the toes, into the heels, around the whole foot. Relaxing the ankle, the calf muscles, the shins, the kneecaps, resting them, relaxing. The muscles around the thighs and the backs of the thighs into the hamstrings, into the bottom. Just adjust yourselves so there's no tension. And then working around your lower back,
around the belly, almost encircling the body, the bottom of the shoulder blades, and around the edges of the shoulder blades, around the chest, over the tops of the shoulders, circling around the arms, the fingers, the thumbs, the wrists, and back up around the neck, the base of the skull, the temples, the forehead, the eyes rest, the cheekbones, the jaw relaxes, the teeth separate, and just breathe. And just notice how your body feels now. Of any aches and pains and tightness, is it all gone? Are there still areas that you need to work on? And it's all very well exercising, but we need to keep moving, we need to keep stretching, we need to keep strengthening our bodies to support our bodies, so our joints, our muscles, our spine supports us properly, safely, strongly. Just breathing and releasing. And then moving your toes, moving your fingers, having a little stretch if you need to. Full body stretch. Roll onto your sides when you're ready. And come up to a seated position or whatever feels comfortable for you. Roll through your shoulders again. Have a long breath in and a big sigh out, and put your hands together and give yourself a round of applause for coming again, joining us again on a Monday morning. Bank holiday weekend next weekend, so Easter Monday, Easter Bunny will have been, so we'll send you a video out, or you can watch this one or another one and do it again. Don't not move, so keep moving and